Now, when y'all look at nature, right? You think about all the different creatures, their unique abilities, their strengths, their weaknesses. Is there a such thing as something being equal? Because in the Matrix, right, it pushes this equality thing heavy. But is there anything in nature that's truly equal? Is there anything in nature that's better than or less than? Because you can have the strength, the intelligence, you can have a number of things, but there's always going to be something somebody is better at than you. So what does it truly mean to be equal? Even in lions, like, one would be stronger while the other is smarter. One may have more finesse with the female lions, while the other is able to bring the male lions together. As humans, I don't believe we were meant to adapt this equality type mindset. Men being equal, women being equal. I believe that was just all designed to pin us against each other. We're not meant to be equal to each other. We're meant to be unique. And as humans, we have the brain development, or we're supposed to have the brain development to be able to utilize that to our benefit in unity with one another. We're not supposed to be equal. Even ants, while they're as closest to being equal as it gets, like, even ants are not equal to each other. They all have their unique personalities, strengths, and weaknesses. The thing with them is they breed themselves to be strong in certain areas that are beneficial to their community as a whole. They don't just think about themselves. They operate as a unit. They operate as one. Everything they do, like exercising for humans, right? That's something we need to do to be healthy as humans, because that's a part of our genetic evolution, right? We have to exercise to maintain what we develop through evolution. Because as we have advanced in technology, we've become lazier and lazier, not really utilizing those strengths that we had developed over time genetically. So exercising is important for everybody to stay healthy. But not everybody wants to exercise. Not everybody is motivated. Me personally, that's not something I particularly care too much for in terms of trying to be the strongest, the fastest. I believe those that really focus on that are doing that either just to impress others, build their confidence. Maybe they fight a lot. Maybe they want to be intimidating so they don't have to fight a lot. I do it because I want to be healthy. I believe that's the only reason we should have to be doing it. But at the same time, we also need warriors. We need those that are motivated to fight in the community. We need those that are motivated to be healthy. We need those that are motivated to want to look in a way that satisfies everyone. But understand that because of our disconnect from each other, we're operating in this matrix. We're not all on the same page. We have allowed these leaders to tear us apart and strip us of those shared common goals. Villages, the men in villages, they used to work out together. Everything they did as a unit, similar to ants, so that they can develop those strengths as a unit. As a child, those children grew up seeing the men doing that, and so they naturally gravitated towards doing that themselves. It was an easy process because it was seen as something you're supposed to do. But it wasn't just anybody telling them to do that stuff. It was their family, their friends, their loved ones, people they known their entire life growing up. That was the power of having a village, growing up in a community where everybody cared about each other. The females, they grew up happy for the most part. That's what men, they want. Men whole goal was to keep their women happy, providing them with their needs so that they wouldn't be stressed, so that they can give that loving and caring energy to their fullest potential. And so taking care of them was a part of allowing them to be the best versions of themselves and fulfill their role as they are. But now that we have this system is pushing this equality thing, you notice that so many people are lost in their direction to the point where they can hardly connect anymore. Relationships are lasting less and less. People are having more and more. People are choosing quantity over quality, because the quality is getting lower and lower because we're not developing it properly. And the system is doing everything they can to destroy it, destroy our health. The more, right now, both men and women are in pursuit of the same three things: money, sex, and status. Most relationships will not last unless those needs are being met. And the higher you are in the social structure, the more demanding of those three things you are. And it's so rare for a person to get all three of those things in one. If a female finds a man that can provide her with the money, the sex, and the status. A lot of the times he's so big in his ego, he doesn't want to be tied down to just her, because he knows her mindset isn't one that really cares for him. Her mindset is materialistic or sexual, lust, addictions, all those things that fall under the desire to have money, sex, and status. Same thing for her. If she finds a dude, or if he finds a woman that meet those needs, which no man should really care how much money a female has, sex. Everybody wants to have good sex, right? And under natural circumstances where we're not being poisoned in our foods and stuff like that, I believe most people will have decent quality level of sex. But understand, the less partners a female has been in contact with, the less requirements she has in terms of being satisfied by me. Meaning, if she has not experienced too many men, it's going to be much easier for her to be happy with the guy that she ends up with, and being able to love and nurture him to her max potential, versus if she's steady comparing him with other dudes that she's been with. Like, oh, this guy may be better in sex than my last guy, but my last guy had more money, or my last guy was more popular, more status, more connections, more security. A lot of that starts conflicting, when really and truly none of that really matters. Because when you truly care for each other, those are things that you can work on together. You can work on your man being sexually healthy. You can work on your woman being sexually healthy. That's not something that we should be basing our whole relationship on. Money is a tool. It's not a necessity, it's a tool in this matrix. If we strive for our independence, we don't need that money. Health is our wealth. We are entitled to this land just as much as anybody else. We are entitled to the resources this land provides just as much as anybody else. We shouldn't have people telling us, hey, we got to get this money from them in order for us to have these things. You're allowing people to control your lives. Therefore, they are controlling your thinking. And the people that are doing this don't give a damn about you. So why do you think that they're leading you in the right direction? Why do you insist on saving a system that is not designed to help you? It's designed to pin you against each other. Yes, it's the only thing you know because you've been in it for generations. And you've been focused on other stuff other than maintaining your rights as a person, as a human being, while they constantly scheme to take more and more of your rights over time, because they plan it for the long term, while y'all just thinking about yourselves, not really caring to fight for your children too much, beyond it taking you out of your own comfort zone. It doesn't make sense for adults to sit up here and allow another adult to control them. Period. The saying, fear no man but God, does that really mean anything to y'all? That person The only difference between you and that person sitting on that top seat is that person was willing to do the worst to get where they are. And best believe they pay a price for that. Best believe if we all try to follow in those footsteps, the world will get more and more chaotic. How chaotic it gets just determines on how many want to follow that path. So you sit up here and you see that we pushing the edge of world war. And personally, I believe that we are too awake to really go into that. But it's important that we all get on the same page and unify and stop depending on this system. Because at some point, if we do not, if we continue to try to operate within this matrix that we know does not have our best interest, they will eventually lead us into a world war that is not going to turn out very good for the average person. While they'll be safe up in their spaceship or something while these bombs are dropping, buried deep into some bunker up on the ground or something, while the average person and all these millionaires think they're part of that club. No, this the billionaire and trillionaire club. If you don't notice, everything they do is to increase their wealth. Why are they so focused on having all the wealth of the world? Why are they so focused on having, they're competing with each other for money. So just being a trillionaire is not, just being a billionaire is not good enough. They gotta be a trillionaire if somebody else is already a trillionaire, because that's what's gonna give them more power and influence over that other. They're competing with each other. So we don't exist in their world. All we are cattle for them to milk. And y'all continue to allow this, constantly trying to fight to save this system. This system isn't savable. You need to reclaim your independence. There is no such thing as equal. We're not meant to be equals. We're meant to respect each other equally, so that we can understand the strengths and weaknesses of each other and work together and use it to our benefits. That is the key to true unity. And once we have that unity, then we're able to come together in our community and set things like a workout club or something like that, so all the men will be in shape, all the women will be in shape, all the kids. It would just be natural for them to work out and exercise to maintain their health and all this type of stuff. We'll put together the proper schools that educate them, so that we'll develop higher education as a group. Operate functionally like we're supposed to, with love and care for one of each other. Understanding that together we are stronger and therefore we need each other. And cut out all this individualism. Until we reconnect with our true selves, our true natures, we're going downhill in this system.